I've been playing RuneScape for nearly 2 decades, and during that time, I've seen the game evolve from a simple point-and-click game to the expansive world we all know today. And throughout that time, I've accomplished some pretty meaningful goals for myself, including experiencing getting my first 99, completing all 3 of the different raids that the game has to offer, earning some meaningful kills in PvP, as well as having played multiple Iron Man game modes, and meeting friends along the way. This game has heavily impacted my life and has influenced me to start over from scratch on a fresh hardcore Iron Man account, to set new goals, and to achieve something I've never done before in this game, which is getting an Infernal Cape. And I'm inviting you to come along on this journey with me. And I don't intend for these videos to serve as a guide, nor do I plan on playing this account super efficiently. This is more so going to be a collection of clips of me progressing through the game and hopefully help those who are looking to get back into the game advance their accounts and obtain those goals. Now, to do this, there's going to be many different checkpoints and milestones along the way that I'm going to look to achieve. And every episode, I'm going to set little goals for myself, whether it be different quests I look to complete, or maybe it's a stat I'm looking to obtain. All of these different goals will help me work towards that bigger goal of obtaining an Infernal Cape. But without any further delay, I hope you enjoy my first episode of the Hardcore Iron Man journey here on Old School RuneScape. So I think the first main goal we should really set out for ourselves is unlocking the Artie Cloak 1. And what that does is it gives us unlimited teleports to Artie, which is going to be very helpful for early game movement around the game, as well as a lot of questing happens sort of around the Artie area. Now, the only real hard requirements we have for the Artie Cloak 1 is completing the Rune Mysteries quest, as well as Biohazard, and then also having 5 thieving to steal from the cake stall. Aside from that, we also do need to get a Rusty Sword, which I'll most likely get through pickpocketing ham members, which has a requirement of 15 thieving as well. And the other really nice feature of the Artie Cloak is it acts as a one-click teleport, which is going to be great for boss encounters or any other risky situations. Considering we are still a hardcore Iron Man at this point, close to our first meaningful level, we're about to hit 20 agility, which is a pretty nice milestone to start off the account. But 20 agility definitely gives us a nice base to start off with, and I think what the plan is from here is to go over to the Stronghold and try and get that 10k. That'll open up a lot more opportunity to do some other content and get some quests knocked out of the way. But there we go, 20 agility, that's a solid start to the account. We're gonna keep building off that, and I'll see you back at the Stronghold. Alright, so we made our way to the Stronghold now. I also managed to get 5 thieving along the way. I wanted to get a little bit of food just so we have some sustain when we're actually going through the Stronghold. And then I also started Gertrude's Cat just to get a couple of niche things knocked out of the way as well. We're gonna make our way through the Stronghold here. I'm hoping to pick up that 10k. If I can't quite make it all the way, that's fine. Even if we can get 5k, that'd be a huge start. So yeah, I'll get back to you once we get to the bottom floor and get our 10k. Alright, we've made it all the way to the final chest that we're going to be clicking on for 10k coins now, which is huge. I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to come back later on for the boots. But all we really need for right now is the money, and then I think what I want to do now is go back to Varrock, pick up an air staff, and start knocking off a few starter quests. Okay, there we go. That's Rune Mysteries completed, so now we have access to rune crafting. That's gonna be all we're really gonna do for rune crafting for the moment. I think we'll probably do rune crafting later on once we get Temple of the Eye completed. Okay, so now that we have the supplies we need, I wanted to do Witch's House because I'll feel a lot more secure doing other questing and just activities in general if our HP is a little bit higher. So I figured we might as well do this Witch's House quest. There is a safe spot that we can use. I also have no idea what the max hits of these NPCs are. I didn't look them up, so I gotta be careful with my HP. I'm gonna just try and stay like max HP most of the time if I can. Okay, now all we should need to do is talk to the boy, return the ball, and that should be our quest complete for Witch's House. Let's see, 6,000 HP XP. That puts us all the way from 10 to 24 HP, which is huge. That's gonna be really nice for doing any other low-level questing. Our combat's now up to 11 as well, which is pretty solid. One of the things I want to do while I'm in Varrock is get Gertrude's cat done so we can start raising cats for some death runes. At the same time, I'm going to do the Natural Museum quiz because it's going to get us some free starting hunter levels. And I think it actually gets us a little bit of Slayer as well, so just a nice little boost to the account. Just see if they're all done. Looks like I did do it right. Okay, there we go. 1000 XP in Slayer and Hunter. That puts us up to 9 Slayer and 9 Hunter. Okay, there's another quest completed. That's Gertrude's cat this time, which is actually a really nice one to get out of the way. It gives us a decent amount of cooking XP, bringing us from 1 to 12, but we also are able to now start raising cats, which is pretty significant because the cats essentially allow us to get some free death runes. Every time we raise a cat, we can turn it in for 200 death runes once we complete the RD Easy Diaries. Alright, currently selling off the final inventory of these Eclipse Reds. It should bring us pretty close to 70k, which is actually a lot more than I was expecting. That's going to be a huge amount of money to get some starting supplies, so 69k. Pretty solid amount of coins there. I'm going to invest in some runes and then any other supplies we need for questing. I also managed to pick up a couple of iron bars along the way as well, which is nice because we do need those for the Night Sword. So right now the plan is to get back to Artie to do some of the quest line, work towards that Artie Easy Diary, and then we'll continue to progress from there. Alright, back in Lumbridge doing another little side quest. I figured I'd get these supplies to do Cook's Assistant, get that out of the way. I also want to do X marks the spot wand here, and then we'll make our way over to Artie. So I think we should have everything. If I go ahead and go through the dialogue here, we should be able to just finish up Cook's Assistant. All we really need is these 3 supplies. And there we go, we hand everything to the cook. And that's another quest out of the way. So I'm once again taking another little detour, and I've been cutting some trees. Right now I'm really hoping to get 30 fire making, and there's 15 wood cutting, which is nice because now we can chop some oak logs as well. But yeah, the plan is to get 30 fire making so that we can go, when we go back to Artie, we can actually do the Sea Slug quest. That'll get us a bunch of fishing levels, and then from there we can finally knock out that Artie Easy Diary as well. So yeah, once we get that 30 fire making, I'm gonna slowly make my way over to Artie. We'll finish up the diary and then move on from there. Alright, final log, let's see, here we go. There it is, 30 fire making. We just completed our goal. That allows us to now complete the Sea Slug quest. Okay, awesome. This should be the end of our quest. Let's just talk to Carolyn here and we should receive our reward. This is going to be a huge amount of fishing XP, which is going to be great. So 7,000 fishing XP, that puts us all the way to 24 from level 1. That is a massive jump. Alright, coming up on the end of another quest, we're just about to turn in our quest for Biohazard, which is the last quest of this quest line that will help us unlock the Easy Diaries for Artie. So here we go, let's go ahead and tell the king that the plague is a hoax, and that should be the end of the quest. Let's just see if we get our reward here as well. And there it is, that is Biohazard complete. We get 1200 thieving XP, which will put us to maybe another level. And then we also get access to the Knight's Training Ground, which is the easy step of the Artie Diary. Okay, so that was the last bit of the Fight Arena quest. I should be able to go ahead and just talk to the Lady Servile now, and we should be getting our quest XP. This is going to be a huge boost to our attack level. Just kind of setting ourselves up for when we want to go and do some gem crab. Yeah, let's talk to the last NPC here and say that we defeated the general. And there we go, that is Fight Arena completed. Another 2 quest points there, putting us up to 18 total now, and we got quite a few attack and also a couple of thieving levels as well. Okay, this should be the final task of our first diary completion. All we need to do now is talk to Alec, and we should be finishing up the Artie Easy Diary, so let's go ahead and trade Alec here. And there it is, that is the Falador Easy Diaries completed. We get a little XP lamp off that, but what the main thing is having that Artie cloak will mean infinite teleports to Artie, which is going to be huge. Alright, we've made it back to Artie, ready to claim our Artie Cloak 1. like I said, that's all of the diary steps done. So here we go. We get an antique lamp and the Artie cloak. Again, this is going to be huge for the count. The +2 prayer alone is going to be really nice to use. But on top of that, now we do also have the unlimited teleports to the Kandrin Monastery, which is really nice.